Hello and welcome to this week's edition of a Thinking Boy podcast. I'm your host Cesar Perez with
Bradley.
I appreciate you coming, man.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
We were just talking. You're
about,
like Sade, bro. You're just one name.
Well, we were just talking about like giving out too much information, so I just thought it would be.
How is that? Like as a musician, are you kind of like aware of it, or are you like kind of just
Oh, I don't have to worry about it because nobody knows who I am.
Honestly, that's a little how I am. I'm just kind of like real free, like flowy, because I do have like my first and last name in my bio and shit like that, but.
I was actually going to ask you that because you gave me your address, and I was like, I don't know if I was in his position if I would ever do that, you know. And it's like just having because we never met in person, so
no, this is our first time, bro.
Essentially strangers.
We're legit
just having
strangers.
a fucking stranger in your house, you know.
Yeah.
It takes something. It's brave.
I've had like I could say I'm like honestly, bro, 100% honest. I've had like one person that kind of like overstayed their welcome. Everybody else has been like pretty chill.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
everyone
good.
else has been chill. But there's one dude that was just like,
well, overstaying is different than like it being dangerous too.
Oh yeah. I'm not too worried about that. I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but like I'm on the 3rd floor, so like, dude, I was really bad.
Everyone knows exactly where you're at now.
I was real bad in like 2020 with just like, because the person I was with, my ex, had like moved out, so I was just here for like a month, and then my friend Andres moved in. And we're moving our his shit and stuff, and then like 2020 was literally like Seinfeld, bro. People would just pop in my like house, like, cause I had other friends that lived here, so they just come through. I'd be like, yo, pull up, and they just like open the door. It's unlocked all the time.
That sounds fun.
And eventually, like, my friend Andres started like dating some girl, and she's just like, you guys probably should not do that, you know, just not do that. I was just like, all right, cool. And every once in a while, I'll still like look and be like, all right, come in, and I look, I'm like, I locked it. And I just get up, but yeah, looking back on it, was like very dangerous, bro. Especially during the time, I'm like, yeah, I definitely should have like been more like.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's a testament to your character because you don't have people around you that are like looking to do harm,
to do me wrong, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. And it's funny because like when you came in here, it's a nice place, and I was just like, I've had like my mom and other people be like, they might look around, you know, they might look at your TV, and you know they might want your TV. I'm just like, I don't think anyone's gonna like want to like rob my TV and then go through like 3 flights of stairs and shit. Like,
you should see. Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Like I'm on the 2nd story, so
logistically, you know what I'm saying?
My thing is like if you're gonna rob someone at this whole apartment complex, it's probably not gonna be me because I'm on the 2nd floor. Like, who wants to fucking do the work of hauling a TV down a flight of stairs? If they're
bro, I'm on the 3rd. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm on the 3rd floor.
Exactly.
So like, if they came, realistically, what are they gonna steal? They're not, you know, maybe my PlayStation, if anything, but like nothing crazy.
We don't even have a TV at my place, so yeah, they don't get shit. I guess except my music gear. So there's a lot of money there, I guess.
But still to like lug it down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, nope.
And I feel like at a certain point you would know. You know, you would probably come to and be like, what the fuck's going on? Like, just with all the movement, the people going through stairs and shit, you're like, would you consider yourself like a light sleeper?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think like it depends on what part of my sleep cycle, I guess, which is, I feel like it's a stupid answer, but sometimes I'll just sleep through everything and sometimes I'm like up, you know?
Mm-hmm. I feel you on that, bro.
What about you?
I'm better the same. My brother, who you met earlier, man, he's like a grizzly bear, bro. He like
That's
could
awesome.
I honestly like am concerned that he's like narcoleptic because like when we're driving to work, he's out. He'll take a nap, and then when we're back from work, out. Then we'll be like, I'll visit my mom and we'll eat some shit, and I'm talking to her, and he's just on the couch, out. And I'm like,
that's
damn,
cool.
bro. I was like, I wish I could sleep like you, because like I struggle to go to sleep sometimes, man.
Yeah, me too. We were talking about this on the Street Couch podcast.
Oh yeah, I saw you were on there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talking about like sleep paralysis and lucid dreaming and shit like that. And
have you ever had sleep paralysis at all?
Yeah, sleep paralysis, and I can lucid dream, which is pretty sick.
Shit.
I don't know if you've ever done that, but like that's like for
lucid
me,
is like when you realize you're in a dream and you keep going.
Yep.
I've had that. I haven't had sleep paralysis, but I've dated girls that had that, and it sounds terrifying, bro.
Yeah, it is. But I feel like once you know what it is, it's easier. Mm-hmm. But especially when you don't know what it is, it's terrifying. Because I guess there's people listening who probably don't know what it is. It's basically like you're asleep, and when you're asleep, your body, I guess, releases a chemical that makes you not able to move. I guess in certain stages of your sleep cycle. So you're
stuck.
basically paralyzed because you can't move, but you're awake enough to see or be aware of what's going on around you and see sometimes. But then you also are dreaming still. So sometimes you'll like see shit. And that can be really scary.
Yeah, I've gotten some phone calls that were just like in tears. I was just like, holy shit, what's going on? And I was at work because I used to work night shift. And I was like, do I need to head over there? Because it sounded like it gets pretty intense.
Yeah, it can.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all good. It's kind of fun now, right?
Yeah, I mean now it's kind of I'm hoping like you could kind of like how is it now whenever or what would be your like last time you think getting a sleep paralysis
I've had a couple that have been like more recent. I'll see shit, and my girlfriend's into paranormal shit, so like there's like I see an old lady sometimes, and so now I'm back to being scared of it instead of like it's cool. But that's because I blame my girlfriend for that.
Oh man.
No, it's I guess I've seen like a old lady. I think that one is one of the more recent ones, but lately I've been pulling myself out of it somehow.
That's cool, man. I'm glad you're able to like get some kind of control over it.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, but I feel like I can kind of jerk myself out of it.
Where do you feel the phrasing of that is kind of funny.
Hey man.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right.
What where do you fall on the whole paranormal thing, bro?
I try not to think about it.
Or?
I basically try not to think about it as much as possible. Like my girlfriend believes, that's fine. I don't want to believe, and I hope I never see anything that makes me believe because it's already scary, the reality that I live in now.
Oh, sure,
yeah, I definitely don't want the next step, you know what I'm saying?
To be there like that is just as bad or worse. Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah, I feel you on that, man. I mean, I'm not even that religious, to be honest with you, but like when I see like an exorcism video or something, I am kind of like, what is that? What is going on there? You know what I mean?
Yep. Me too.
She made me watch. Real questioning.
She makes me watch those kind of movies a lot, like the whole Conjuring series, the universe, I think they call it now.
Yeah, it's the whole the Nun and shit. All that stuff is connected, apparently.
Yep. And and Mr. Ballin, we watch Mr. Ballin regularly. He was paranormal at first. He does YouTube short videos, like 30 minutes, and then he does. Now he has a podcast and some TikTok shorts and stuff. He's like done a whole thing, but I think he started on YouTube. But he tells, it used to be stories of the strange, dark, and mysterious, I think was his tagline. And now it's become more true crime. So I think we've watched less because of that. But yeah, she has me watching all that kind of stuff.
You know, my mom's into true crime, bro. Yeah. She's like really into it, and she's always like hitting me with these like, "Did you hear that some guy got stabbed last night at like 3:00 in the morning?" I'm just like, "Why?
Yeah.
Why are you telling me this?"
Yeah.
And I always have to get on her because I'm just like, I was like, I gave you my HBO. I was like, you have my HBO and like my Hulu. What are you watching this for? And she'll sit through like Tubi, any movie on Tubi that's like shittily made or anything like that, like any local like channel. She'd rather watch that than like everything else that I've like provided her. And she's like, I can't sign in. I'm just like, what are you talking about? It's right there. And I click on it and like, she hasn't watched anything. I'm like, damn. I was like, I wonder what it is, bro.
I don't know. Yeah, we have a couple of those like streaming services, but I think my ideal would to be having none of them. Yeah? Yeah.
I was going to say, how hard is that? Because there are times where like, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier, that like, we're kind of not forced, but like the whole social media aspect and like, the other aspect of like what we do, that we don't really enjoy. At least me personally, just trying to figure out the whole like monetary gain of it is like, I don't know, man. It does like, it's something to think about, but it also like, I don't know, man. It's like real frustrating to even like deal with, you know?
Yep. I don't like it. I want to play my instrument. I want to write my songs. I want to work with other musicians. And that's all I want to do. I don't want to do the marketing. I don't want to be a, what do they call them? Fucking influencer or content creator or any of that bullshit. Like, I just want to be me.
Do you feel like there's like a contamination aspect to it if you like let some of that shit in, like when in terms of like marketing or like putting this out and all that stuff?
I love that question. I think it's like anything else. It's like a tool, right? And you can overuse the tool and you can let it convolute everything you do. You can let it change the way you write. You can let it control what you do, or you can use it like the tool it is to help more people access what you do. And so I think that's my answer. But I do tend to feel like it's a more like contaminating thing,
right?
But I don't think like logically that it is. You know
Got you. Could I ask you another question?
Sure.
And I asked my friend about this because we were talking about it because he's like a game developer, so he's trying to work on like mobile games and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
And I was just like, man, he's like, dude, all I need is resources. I'm like, yeah. He's like, if someone gave us like a big chunk of money, like we'd be straight. And I was like, maybe, but I don't know. And I was just like, what do you mean? He's like, all these ideas we have, this and that. I'm like, yeah, man, but like for you, if you were like, let's just say you were like well off, like from this point on, you're well off. How do you feel about that rather than like the journey you're on now and kind of like the path you're on now and like doing it your own way, making the music you want to make and not kind of like, I don't want to say selling out or anything like that, but you know what I mean? But like, it's different like being given something and then earning something. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, like I had that choice. I could have been like somebody else. I could have, like I went to college for music, you know? I could have chosen another path. I just didn't want to. So I'm where I want to be because I wanted to be there. And, you know, sometimes I'll look at my friends and I'll be like, damn, I wish I had a nice house instead of a shitty apartment in, you know, a shitty part of town. But then there's like other costs associated with that because like they're still in debt and, you know, they got like the mortgage, you know, so more debt, to be paid, right? Yeah. So, and then they got like kids and just other expenses that aren't all financial, you know, and like time expenses. Yeah. And like the soul sucking drain that is having a job that you don't love, you know, like, or even like, you know, you're stuck having to do it. Like when I see that part, it reminds me that I made the right call and that, you know, I'm on the path that I wanted to be on, that I still want to be on, and that I need to be on, you know? So
I feel you, man. I got to be honest with you, bro. These Budweiser zeros are
not bad, right?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah. I like there's a Stella. That one's my favorite because it's real bitter.
Oh, yeah?
Like real beer, yeah.
Now, is there a particular reason why you are drinking we're drinking the Budweiser zeros?
Yeah, I'm just trying to drink less, you know? I was like, just being irresponsible with my drinking, you know? And I just didn't like it. I didn't like me, you know, for a long time. Still, you know, struggle with that part. But in terms of the drinking, I didn't like the way I was handling it. And just, you know, I wanted to change that. So I've been like vaguely sober for a couple months. I've been drinking like these kinds of beers. And it's not like a sober, not sober thing for me. It's like trying to relearn my relationship with alcohol and not like just drinking every night, you know?
That's tough, man. Yeah.
Well, it's been a habit for a long time. So this is one of the things I'm doing to try to get there. I had some beers yesterday, some real beers yesterday. But it was over a longer period of time and I mixed it. I had like these things between, so I wasn't, you know, exactly. Yeah. I wasn't just going hard on Saturday. I was just chilling with my girlfriend and I was present, you know, and not like, in another place, you know what I mean?
No, I feel you. This shit could get dangerous. I've seen a lot of friends like, I won't say mess their lives up, but like DUIs and stuff like that, and it could get real like tricky.
For real.
That's tough, man.
Not to mention like health problems. Like I'm, you know.
Yeah, dude. You don't want the liver.
Yeah.
The liver is real tough on you. And isn't alcohol like I don't want to say poison, but it's kind of like that's what it does. It's like poisoning your body for a little bit.
It does poison you. It is poison. Yeah. And then you can get like physically dependent, you know, and just, you know, seen a couple of like liver failure videos.
That's just tough, bro.
Yeah.
I've seen
scary.
I'm not, like I mentioned earlier, I'm not a huge drinker.
Good.
But just because like when I do drink, bro, I'm kind of a bigger guy, so like I have to like put them down.
Yeah.
And I can handle myself, but it's just like I look at it and I'm like, dude, there's so much liquid.
Yeah.
It's just so much liquid that I have to consume to like get like to the point of like real like where I'm real like buzz.
Yeah. Yeah. And my tolerance was up, so I was kind of the same way. Plus, like, just for me, looking at my fucking bank account and thinking of like how poor I am, and then thinking about how much of my money I spent on drinks. Yeah. I'd just be drinking beer every night, right?
Dude, and they could get they could get pricey.
Yeah. So I'm like doing the math, just being like, Bradley, you have to stop this. So
well, I'm glad you have the mental clarity to kind of recognize something and then like make steps towards like changing your behavior up. That's really important, bro. Not a lot of people have that.
It took a while, to be honest, but I'm happy with it too. It feels good, being present all the time.
I think we were talking earlier, baby steps.
Yeah,
baby steps for sure. And I think a lot of people like doing that initial step is the hardest part.
Oh yeah.
Then the routine and kind of like gets you into it.
Yeah, and well, it's a journey. I don't know, but yeah, I'm with you.
No, for sure. Well, hey, I'm rooting for you, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Taken care of.
My girlfriend's ex-boyfriend just died a couple weeks ago from an overdose.
Holy shit.
So that was pretty sobering, and I was already into like my journey, so that was kind of reassuring. Like, okay, let's keep.
Oh my god.
It wasn't alcohol, but it was an overdose, and it was close, and I, had to watch her deal with that. Yeah, man. So
one of my favorite artists, actually I have like a tattoo inspired by him, was Mac Miller. And Mac Miller he died overdose and stuff like that, and fentanyl and all that shit.
Sad.
It is sad, and it's so odd listening to like, because it's funny because I wasn't the biggest, I liked his music, but like while he was alive, I liked his music, but I never really jammed him like that. Then after he passed away, my friend came back from North Carolina, and he's like, man, you should listen to his album, this and that. We're both going through shit, breakups and stuff. He said, listen to this album, Swimming. I'm like, all right, cool. Start listening to it, and then as like the years go on, I listen to his whole catalog. And he's mentioning that shit a lot, bro. He's mentioning his addiction. He's like fully aware of it. And he has this song called Godspeed where he's talking about like, I don't want nobody to tell my mom that I overdosed or have someone to have like even that conversation with her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like the fact that like totally ended up happening is like brutal, bro.
Yep. It's hard.
It is, man.
Yeah. I feel like one of the bands I was in for a long time is called Zero Detail. And I kind of just joined. They were looking for a vocalist, and I was like, let me try it. And ended up, doesn't matter. The point is, like, definitely a lot of the writing you can hear, like, because I listen back sometimes, and recently I listened back, and it's like, oh man, there's a lot of songs about drinking.
It's a different like headspace.
Yeah. And then the other thing I was going to ask you, actually, you mentioned North Carolina. What part of North Carolina does your buddy live in?
Oh, dude, he was in this part of North Carolina called Sneed's Ferry, I think.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about or not?
No, my brother lives in Raleigh though, so I was hoping they just like randomly knew each other.
Shit, he might, bro, because he was in North Carolina for a minute. He lived here. We grew up with him. He lived on the street that we're on for the longest time. But then like around when he was like 7 or 8, he moved. His whole family moved to Oklahoma, then North Carolina. And he was in North Carolina till like 2019. He barely came over here, like 2018. So when he came back, I was always like fucking like shitting on him. I was like, North Carolina, North Kakalaki. I was like, what are you doing, bro? What you doing up in North Kakalaki, bro? Like this always like anytime I mention the name North Carolina, it's never Carolina, it's Kakalaki, bro. Yeah. So that and I think some part of Sneed's Ferry. I know he was by like the ocean. He was by like so he's pretty close to there. But from what he tells me, it was just kind of crazy. I think his town was pretty small. Yeah, it was a pretty small town in Sneed's Ferry. Shout out to Fernando if you're watching this. That's
hell yeah.
I always give him shit for that, bro, because I'm just like, dude, North Carolina. It's just so odd to me. Someone like from here all the way up there. I'm like, damn, bro. And he was telling me about the drive because his family drove, bro. And I was like, that sounds so brutal, bro. From Houston to North Carolina, like,
I'm not a fan of drives.
Me either, man. I hate it.
We do enough of it here, man. I'm not trying to take a road trip in a car. Fuck that.
My work commute is like 16 minutes, but it's still like,
Yeah.
that's enough for me,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah. I mean, here it's like a lot of traffic around here.
Definitely, bro.
Fuck that.
Did
Anywhere.
you-
is just
I was gonna say, did you grow up in Houston?
yeah,
or-
I grew up in Spring.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was. I still have those friends like you're talking about that, like from way back, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Those kind of childhood friends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell
for
yeah.
sure, man.
Yeah, stays
I
the
like
same.
it, man. I don't like. I've lost some friends over the years through circumstantial stuff like that, and it's kind of like when you think back to it, it's like, damn, it's weird, like knowing that like you'll probably shoot them a text, but there'll be like nothing in return.
Yeah,
It's an odd feeling.
it's sad. It hurts me, but that's okay. It's not everything's up to us, right?
Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I take it, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, well, maybe it's just not meant to be, bro.
Yeah.
Also, like you said, like someone has a kid.
Yeah,
they
you don't
move
know what's going on in their
away.
life.
Yeah.
You can't assume it's about you. So like, I've been bad about that. Like it's always about me. You know what I mean? Like
Being
it's my
like-
fault, right?
Yeah, perspective is definitely like a
Yeah.
big thing, man. That I've been trying to
Sure.
like see through their eyes as well. Because when I had broke up with my ex, bro, they were like, it was my friend Jesus and his girlfriend, and they were there for me like from the jump, bro. Coming over, we'd hang out,
That's really nice to
dealing
have.
with me, and then like 2020 happened and COVID happened, and like we just kind of lost contact, bro. It was kind of like sad, and I would shoot them a message, oh, we need to hang out, yeah, for sure, reach out, and like nothing. And the last thing I got was like he had like put me as like a reference for a job, and I was like, yeah, man, he's a great guy, this and that, and he's just like, hey, thank you, appreciate it, we should hang out. Nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of them, and I was like, damn, bro, I was like, I want to be there for you guys because
Yeah.
like you were there for me, but I guess I don't know. I guess it's not meant to be, man.
I don't know. They'll reach out when they need you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll do my best to be there, honestly.
There you go. That's all you can do.
So I wanted to ask you about your music.
Yeah.
At what age did you kind of realize that this is the thing you were gonna head towards?
I don't know. That's a good question. I know, like, growing up, I listened to music, not even that much, like, just casually, right? In the car, or when I woke up, it was like I had a radio.
Radio going
right?
on.
And that was my alarm, was the radio would come on instead of, like, So then, but then I started playing saxophone in 6th grade. So that was
Sax,
like,
bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I started doing that, and then I was like a band kid all through high
Okay,
school. So I
okay.
think like a lot of it was just that, being in the band and having, that kind of community where like we all know each other, and that was our little, family within
Mm-hmm.
the school. And I left that and I went to school for a year, and then after that first year I went right back and I picked up the saxophone again. I was like switched my major basically, right?
Okay.
From like not, I think it was undeclared,
Gotcha.
getting basics out of the way, to like, okay, I'm doing music. So I don't know if it was like a clear conscious moment or if it was just kind of like a progression,
Mm-hmm. Might be subconsciously, bro.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe
so.
subconsciously, you're just like, you know what? I like this more than that.
Yeah.
I was telling the guest that I had that I was trying to be a nurse for the longest time. I really wanted to be a nurse. And
That's a good
honestly, I didn't really want to be a nurse. I just like, that was the career. I was like, well, I'll be a nurse.
Got
and like,
you.
I always have a job.
Right.
They get paid well.
Mm-hmm.
All this shit. And I was like, all right, cool. And then COVID totally happened. Everyone got sick. And I was just kind of like, I was seeing how like the struggle of being a nurse. And I was like, man, I took a step back and I was like, totally fucking glad I'm not a nurse right now.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, and I was just like, man, like, if I really want to be a nurse, I'd want to be there
Yeah.
doing that kind of
Yeah.
shit. And I totally don't want to do that. So that's when I kind of started doing more photography stuff and the podcast, my YouTube channel and stuff like that. That's where I kind of like started focusing in on that more than like something I just didn't want to do at all.
Yeah, I think that's good. I like some of your photography that I've seen on Instagram.
Appreciate it, bro.
That's really good.
Thank you, man. I've been trying to get we were talking about equipment being expensive. I was
Yeah.
trying to get like new lenses and shit. I think that's gonna be whenever I get my tax return, I'm definitely gonna get like a fucking new lens or something like that. There's also like other dumb shit. Like I want a PlayStation 5, bro. I'm like, there's a new Spider-Man game coming out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't fucking wait, dude. I cannot fucking wait, bro. Because I've missed Man, I haven't played a game other than like Fortnite, which is like a free game I could play online. In terms of game that I purchased, shit, it might have been the first Spider-Man that was like 2018.
Damn.
It's been a minute, so I'm just like, damn, I feel like I should like treat myself a little bit. You know what I mean?
Go for it. Fuck yeah.
Oh man. So you switch your major, you go back to the sax, and what year would you say this would be?
That was like, I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't even know how old you are, bro. You're in fucking.
Oh, I'm 21.
Oh, you're younger than me,
I'm
bro.
just kidding. I'm way. I'm like 33. now?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 26.
26. Okay.
Got you.
So we're the same age.
Yeah. Hey, I'm rounding up at this point, bro. I'm just rounding up.
I always round down.
Each year, I'm just kind of like closer.
Yeah, I know.
And closer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really tripping on it too much. I think 40 is gonna trip me out, honestly.
I'm already tripped out because I feel young, but then I say 33.
You look young, honestly.
And I feel like an old man.
33. I mean, it depends. I think what your circle is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's some people that are like I hang out with, or even like I'm doing photos for, and like they're like fresh out of high school, like 19. Oh, I'm 20, and I'm just kind of like, damn, I feel like super old right now.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I do.
But it's cool to see like their enthusiasm and energy, just to be like, let's go, like I'm ready to like do this shit, and me just kind of being like, wow, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm free on this day. You know, I'm free Sunday and Saturdays. You know, we could totally do something then, but. During the week, I'm more kind of like a hermit. I'm just kind of like, I just want to go to work, go to the gym, get here. You know what I mean?
I do.
Oh, man. It's odd because, like, thinking back at it as a kid, like, you don't... Well, at least for me, I never really knew, like, what to expect adulthood would be. But going through it is, like, definitely... It's interesting.
It's weird. It's a trip.
It's weird, man.
Every day's a trip.
It is, bro.
Start saying shit like your parents say.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So, bro, you know what like hit me earlier this week? I work at my regular 9 to 5 is like a warehouse. Mm-hmm. When I started talking about the weather, bro.
Yeah.
When I started bringing up the weather constantly at work, it's hot. Like my boss would just be like, bro, it's hot out there, man. I'm like, it is hot. And I check my phone. I'm just like, high of 105. What? I was like, this is crazy. And I'm like, bro, I sound so fucking old right now.
Yeah. I visited my parents in spring yesterday with my girlfriend, and this is fucking perfect because every time we go, something new is up there, and I'm like, oh, this used to be this used to be this, and my fucking parents said the same shit when I was a little kid, you know, like we lived on 1960, and there was like a big field across from us, and you know, they were like, oh yeah, that used to be, you know, forest or whatever, and then you know there's like strip centers, and they're like, oh yeah, there used to be nothing there, and I'm doing the same shit now.
Yeah, man, I feel you.
But fuck that.
Yeah, not fuck that shit, dude. A lot of the musicians I like are like older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like hitting their peak like when they're older, and I'm like, whoa. It's crazy. That's why the whole Mac Miller thing kind of like bummed me out, man, because I'm like, dude was like 27, 28. And I was like, if he's making this shit now, I could only imagine what like his music was gonna like head towards then. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So disappointing.
Sad.
What do you think about the whole like 27 Club, all that kind of shit? That kind of like a lot of artists that were 27 died. Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain.
I don't know. I think it's sad, but. You know, it's pretty hard growing up.
Nah, for sure.
And then it's also hard, like, you know, or I would imagine it's hard having that kind of success and being like not quite put together and
or going through things,
going through struggles, and having access to, you know, and then it's one thing to say like, you know, don't drink or do drugs or like, you know, that kind of message, and then it's another to have them like in your face every single day.
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask you about that. Not if you have a concern or anything, but when you're out, if you ever play a show live or like around the area there, like you said, there's a lot of like drug use, there's a lot of drinks being flown by.
Hell yeah.
Do you kind of see that as, I won't say a test, but more of you being like, all right, I need to like know what I'm getting into in terms of like the space you're gonna be in?
Oh, I don't know. Like I think when I was doing shows a lot, like when I was with Rogues and Zero Detail, I was drinking, so I didn't give a shit. I was just gonna drink as long as I could play. Like I wasn't trying to
Be
get
like
so drunk I
shit-faced or
couldn't
yeah.
play, you know, like Scott Stapp or some shit. But but you know, I was gonna drink. That was part of the thing, right? And then, you know, I'd see like coke in the bathroom, or like, you know, everyone smokes weed, so
The smell in the air is like,
you know?
yeah.
But like I wasn't about to do coke, so it didn't matter. And but yeah, now I don't like really go out that much, so I haven't really had the, you know, people drinking in my face. I want to be a part of that temptation. That's like, I guess, another step in this journey. I did go to a brewery yesterday. So
those are nice, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Those are like a pretty good, like, as like a day trip just to do. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
My friend Taylor from we had this group called Spruce Miles together. He and I, we worked with a lot of different artists around town, and that was super fun, and we made super good music. Unfortunately, he doesn't really want to do it anymore, so that's a real shame, honestly. That's like the music that I'm most proud of, and it's only 4 songs. But shit. It's like fucking good, you know?
Hell yeah, dude.
And that's hard for me to say. I'm not like one of those people who, like, I guess is just proud of themselves, you know? For like
no, I feel you, yeah. I've had, even you giving me a compliment earlier on my photos, I'm kind of like, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
you know, they're not like
exactly.
at that, you know.
That feeling I struggle with a lot. But Spruce Miles was great shit. But he's doing like hot sauces, and there was a little booth. So I went to my parents' house, and then I popped over there to just say hi to him. Literally just hug him, have a conversation, and then we left. So I didn't have like a beer at the brewery or anything, even though I did want to, but it was just like not what I was there for, you know. So it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, I'm glad you're really able to like see all the shit, bro. You're really able to like kind of zoom out. It's good that you're able to like do that on site, you know what I mean? Because it's real easy to just be like, oh, I'll get something to drink. You want anything to drink? You know what I mean? Like, that kind of shit. So it's good that you have that, like, I don't want to say hindsight, but to see everything and be like, I'll do that at the house, or hey, I'll do that like at a different time.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That's just important, bro. I feel like a lot of my friends like don't do it, or like I've had some friends that are just like, yeah, I told you I smoke weed and shit like that, and like as soon as they come over, bro, let's roll up, and I'm just kind of like, let's hang out for a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's like, you know, we don't have to, or like it'd be late as fuck, and I'm like, man, I work in the morning, so like I'm not even gonna be able to like enjoy, enjoy whatever we're doing. You know what I mean? Like I have to be up within like a couple hours, so like it's literally just gonna put my ass to bed, which is cool, but like I also want to enjoy like, you know, the experience a little bit.
Yeah. I feel that. That's funny. It's like it's easy to just do things, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, especially, bro. And like I said, I'm 26, so like I'm kind of like, I'd say during COVID, because it's funny because like I hadn't smoked. I smoked early when I was like 14, then took a break when I was like around 16, and then from like 16 to like 22, 23, I didn't smoke at all. So like most of high school I didn't smoke. Even like post high school I didn't smoke. It wasn't until like the end of 2019 to 2020 where I kind of like indulged a little bit. And then 2020, like I just had fuck all to do because like of like COVID and shit. So I was just like really going hard with that. And after a while I was kind of like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? So we all kind of like, me and my friend Fernando kind of like talked about it. He's just like, man, I just don't want to be doing this shit. I'm like, nah, I feel you, bro. Like it's like, it's tough. It's tough because like we weren't able to like do much more because like he had a job, I had a job, so like really nothing else to do. You know what I mean? We'd get home from work and shit. The highways be empty. Everything will be empty as fuck. He's like, can I come over? I'm like, yeah. He lived like down the street. I'm like, pull up. He'll pull up, roll up a little bit, watch some TV, some funny shit, and then like, all right, man, I'll see you tomorrow. And it was just kind of like a routine thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You get in that routine. Yeah, man. No, I can't smoke weed at all.
We were talking about that earlier. That it gets you a little paranoid.
No, not a little. Like I remember the first time it was really bad because I did used to smoke weed and it was fine. And then I don't know if I'm like allergic or like if something happened, but the first time it was real bad. I was by myself and I took 2 hits, and then I was like walking around my room. the whole house, paranoid as fuck. And
Jesus.
it was like I realized later into the high that I had like turned on every light and opened every door in my apartment.
Golly, bro.
And then I was trying to like calm down. So I called my ex-girlfriend, and that was like not calming me down because I was hearing her voice as squares, which is really just how cell phone voices sound. Like it's like not an accurate representation of someone's voice. It's always sounds like pixelated basically, right?
Yeah.
And so I was describing that to her. I remember that. And then
Like squares, damn, that's a hell of a description. Holy shit.
Well, I used to smoke and I would have synesthesia, so I would like see sound, and it was super cool. So I'd like fall asleep just watching a fucking music video in my head, you know.
Holy shit, that sounds insane.
It was awesome, you know. But then that shit happened, and I was like listening to Radiohead, and I started twitching to the music, like not fully controllably, you know. And then like I turned that shit off, and I had the washer going, and I was like, okay, well, if this is going on in the distance and I go into my room, that'll be like a soothing sound. And then I started hearing fucking voices coming out of the sound of the dryer, and it was like, am I having auditory hallucinations, you know? And then, you know, I tried it a couple of times after that, and just every time it's been really, really bad. Like that, I remember going to a party one time and I couldn't interact with other people. I just had to like curl up in a ball and wait for it to be over.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, man.
No, it's cool. Terrible. It's just like, you know, not something I feel like I can do.
I was gonna say, do you think you had anything laced at all? Do you think you had like a bud that was like tampered with, if anything?
That's totally possible. Like that one time, that first time that it was real bad. Mm-hmm. But after that, it's just been like, I mean, it has been hit or miss, but I don't think that that's the case.
That's the case, okay.
Maybe once later, but I don't think that's the case like every time after that, you know?
Cause during COVID, bro, like I was going through, I hate that like weed isn't legal here, so like I have to go through like, and I was talking to my friend last week that like, man, like it's so odd going to like Arizona or going towards like California or Vegas where it is legal. And then like coming back to Texas and being like, fuck, I can't like, it's not a store where I have to go to. I have to like hit someone up. I have to meet someone up. And during COVID, I was like just trying different people out. And there was one time where like we had smoked and my friend dipped off. I was like, all right, bro, I got to work tomorrow. And I was like just laying on my bed listening to music. Heart starts pounding. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on, bro? I was like, what's happening? I was just like, man. So that's the only time where I felt like I had something that was like tampered with. Yeah, for sure. Because even he told me that he was feeling like a little fucking weird. I was like, yeah, man, I don't know about that shit. Like, it's just super sketch. It's super sketch. And like I said, it's unfortunate that like it's just not readily available and medically like, you know, distributed or something like that. It's just, it's a bummer, man. I feel like that's another old man shit where like I'm just kind of like, oh, well, in a couple years it'll be legal, you know, 5 years it'll be legal. I'm like, I'll say this shit like high school, bro, like in middle school. So I'm like, when the fuck is it gonna happen?
Who knows, man?
I don't know. Yeah,
I feel you though.
Jesus Christ. So go ahead, and I was gonna ask you if you could walk me through one of your like creative days. If you were like, right, you know, so you wake up, you're gonna write a song or even work towards a song. What do you have to like get into a certain headspace, or you just kind of like letting the day like take you where it goes?
So I hate that. Not the question. The question is good. I hate the like headspace idea, and I'm gonna take a second to bitch about it on your pod. I think like, because I've worked with people who are like that, like they have to have the mood right, like it's like you're about to have sex for the first time or something, you know.
There's foreplay involved and shit.
But there's really like, I feel like if you're creative, then it's in you. It's a part of you, and like your job is to be able to access it. So like, yeah, you can make the mood right, or you can do like some rituals to get into that headspace. But like, I think at the end of the day, can't like blame the vibe for not being able to create in that moment. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel
but anyway, but yeah, no, I don't have a process like at all, actually.
That's good, man.
It was fun because
maybe
it's
that
always
is your
different.
process. You know what I mean?
I think maybe so. But like, you know, some songs like I'll be really into a feeling, and I don't mean like into as in enjoying. I mean into like immersed in, and then it'll just like come out. Or sometimes I'll be singing a song like my next song that's coming out, well, that I'm planning to release, I might do something else before then, who knows, but it's called Sick, and it's about drinking too much. I kind of like exaggerated a little bit, but the point is I had this melody stuck in my head, and it had words to it. It was, I'm so sick of myself, like, I'm so sick of myself, and it just kept going through my head for like a fucking year.
Godly.
And I was just like, one day just sat down and I was like, I gotta finish at least like that, the hook, I guess, that line, like what comes after that. And then, so I did that, and I scratched it, and I did it again, I scratched it, and then I was like, well, what the fuck is this song about? So then I just wrote down like, well, why am I sick of myself? And I just wrote down like a list of things that I'm sick of myself for. And the biggest one became drinking.
Is where the song kind of came from.
So then I just like scratched everything else out off the list, and I just wrote about that. And so then the song became like this exaggerated version of the struggle that I'm, experiencing. But, it at least has like a clear direction and one, But anyway, that was that song, right? But then, other songs, it's totally different.
I was going to ask, do you have, because some I have like a note on my phone on the app, and I'll like write down ideas, whether it be like ideas I wanted to shoot for like a movie or a skit, just some shit, like a scenario basically, where I'm like, I feel like this will be funny or this will be interesting. Have you ever lost one of those, bro, where you just had like something in your head and then you totally, like for me, work fucks it up for me, because like the name of this show was going to be some other shit that I had seen on a box at the warehouse. I was like, damn, this like word is like really interesting. I want to use it somehow like in the podcast in like the early stages. And I totally forgot what the fuck the word was, bro. And I was like, shit, like, fuck, I'll just go with the thinking boy, a thinking man, like the whole statue. And I was like, fuck, I'll use the boy. But yeah, has that ever happened to you where you just lose like a thought or lose an idea?
Dude, I've lost entire songs.
Oh, man.
It's like, that's kind of this process right now. I'm releasing a song a month for at least the end of the year. And so they're all songs that I've already written. They're already done. I'm just reorchestrating, which I don't know if everyone knows what that means. It's basically like rearranging what instruments are on the song and where they go, what vocal lines go where, that kind of stuff. I'm not rewriting the songs. I'm just redoing some parts
Got you.
that are going to be in there. But like a lot of the stuff I've done is just either totally forgotten or saved somewhere where I don't know where it is, So I'll probably end up like next year, after these ones are done and I'm done working on those, I'll probably end up like going through those, trying to find some of those and putting those out too.
Hell yeah, man. Do you know who the artist Mac DeMarco is at all?
I've heard of Mac DeMarco. I'm sure I've heard his music. I think I have some students who like his stuff, so I've had to teach some of his songs. And my old roommate Mark has shown me him before. I know. I can't think of like what Mac DeMarco's sound is, but
it's kind of like an indie, kind of like I don't want to say vaporwave. That's like way off, but like it's like indie and like he has some like synths involved and shit like that. Singer songwriter, but he released this album that was called, let me look at the name real quick. It was funny, but it basically was like a bunch of B-sides, like a shitload of B-sides, bro. Like I'm gonna show you like how long the album is, because it's legit like 8 hours long.
That's crazy.
And he did it actually like this artist named Homeshake, who used to be in Mac DeMarco's like a live band. It's called One Wayne G. They both did the same thing this year or last year, where they released like a whole bunch of like, literally look at the title like of the songs and shit.
Oh
it's
my god,
dates.
they're just numbered.
They're just dates.
That's crazy.
And it goes on and on and on and on.
Man,
would you ever put out like your B-sides, or are you kind of like perfection? Oh, okay, I got you.
The song I'm supposed to be having it mastered today actually, but it didn't get to me, so it's gonna be. I just texted my producer this morning from Studio Sassafras. He
shout out.
Yeah, he's gonna send me the wave tomorrow, and that's totally a B-side. And the last one I released is a B-side too. Like they're not my favorite songs, and I'm not very attached. But they're 90% done. So what the fuck am I doing sitting on? Right?
I feel you on that. Yeah.
But it's funny because the one I'm about to release the one I'm getting back tomorrow. It's like a love lost song. You know what I mean? Like you break up with someone and you're like, oh no, you know. So I'm showing my girlfriend, and she's like, not. It's just a funny thing because even though it's not like I wrote the song recently, it's like it's still. I can understand why she would feel some kind of way hearing it, because it's not like about her, it's about someone else, right? But it's also not like I wrote it
last week or some shit like that.
Even last year, like when we were together or something, you know. It just so I understand where she's coming from. But
that's interesting. I didn't think about that.
How do I navigate that, like with these releases? Like, you know.
I often think about that, dude, because like I have a lot of artists that like a lot of their songs are kind of like breakup songs.
Yeah.
Then I look at them on Instagram. I'm like, man, you guys are like in loving relationships with like a kid and shit. So like, I often wonder where that music comes from. You know, where that kind of like even like a depressive state or like melancholy music. I often wonder like where do they like get that shit from, bro? Because like it just seems. Obviously we see like the good side and we don't really see the the other side when they're like not as like cheery and shit. But I am kind of like, damn, man, I wonder where that comes from when you're kind of like fulfilled in the way that like you have a girlfriend, you know what I'm saying, that part of your life is like taken care of, you know what I mean, you have a person that cares about you, and like that's interesting, bro. It could be that, it could be unfinished material or like unwritten songs.
Also, I've been doing some writing lately where it's like not it's almost like character writing, you know, so I'm writing a song but it's not really like anything that I'm going through right now, but it's kind of using things that I have experienced in my life to kind of make the song. It's
almost like a concept, like a concept, not album, but a concept, you know.
Right. So like the concept is this feeling. So you write about that feeling. And then, you know, it kind of writes itself too, because I'll write like a whole verse and I'll be like, okay, well, I really like this line and I really like this line, but the rest is trash. So I'm throwing that away. Right. And then I'll kind of pigeonhole myself in some sense because I have those two lines that I like that now I need to make work, right? So then it kind of like streamlines or directs the flow of traffic. So like all the meaning of the song gets shifted into those two lines or like gets pointed by those two lines in the direction of like wherever it ends up. Does that make sense?
No, I feel you. That makes sense.
I feel like I said a lot of words and didn't.
No, it makes sense, bro.
Okay, cool.
It kind of helps you like direct everything.
Yeah, like it no longer, it kind of like dictates what the track will be about. Like, okay, well, I know I like these two lines, but because they are these specific two lines, then whatever comes next has to be affected by those two lines. It has to have to do with those two lines, and then kind of changes the meaning of the song. So like my girlfriend has been traveling for work a lot lately, and so I tried to write something about that. And I started out the song something about, you know, something about calling me if you're lonely, right? And then I added don't. So the first line is don't call if you're lonely, right? And so I liked that line. And so I tried to like write more. I had to follow that, even though the song originated as like a, you know, as you're like gone, I miss you
kind of thing.
Yeah, but now instead of like you're gone, I miss you, now it's like don't fucking call me. I don't want to have anything to do with you. You know? So it like became something else because of, I guess, my taste in that moment, you know?
That's cool, man. That's awesome that you're able to like transform your material on the, I don't want to say on the fly, but like in the moment, you know what I mean? And what you're feeling.
Yeah, it's fun for sure. And I think like it's less, I think it's just about like what lines I end up liking, you know, because then it's just follow that shit, you know.
When does the instrumentation usually come before your lyrics, or are the lyrics, you know?
So when I said I don't have a process, I really meant I don't have a process. Like I used to just like write guitar licks and
a little jam session almost.
Yeah, and then I'd like write lyrics to it, right? And then lately kind of a melody, or like I said about Sick, like that kind of shit happens. And I had a song released in July that was called Fuck All My Friends, or it's actually called FAMF.
Yes, I think I heard that one.
It's Fuck All My Friends is the hook. And so that one was in my head, right? And so I had to finish that out. And so I'll get that a lot. And then sometimes some of the stuff I'm trying to work on the side is like, I have the music kind of there from older projects that I never finished, you know. So like guitar practicing sessions, I'm trying to learn like more jazzy chords, and I throw something together and put some sax on it. Mm-hmm. And then, I try to write to that. So then it's like music first, and then
the
lyrics and melody in that case, right? But then sometimes it's the opposite. So
got you. Nice, man.
It depends.
I like that, man. It's like free flowing, if anything. You know what
keeps it fun because it's never, you know, I don't like the structure, right? Mm-hmm. And if it's the same way every time, you're gonna get similar results anyway, right? Mm-hmm. So
no, I feel you. You won't. There'll be like no growth or no changing. You know what I mean? That's a good way of putting it. That's a really good way of putting it. Well, I also wanted to ask you what do you listen to, like on your kind of like on a regular basis, or what some of your favorite artists? Who are some people that you like kind of go to as like this person? I'll play their shit whenever I'm like doing some stuff around the house or anything.
I like a lot of stuff, but not as much as most people. I think I like listen to an album. I'm an album person.
Okay.
And I'll like study that album for like a month or 3 months and listening to like nothing but that album. But honestly, mostly I listen to the thing I'm working on.
Oh, okay.
That's the number one thing I listen to. So I use Telegram a lot to like, I pretty much don't text. I use Telegram instead.
It's funny because I got when I checked that shit, I got a notification that like so-and-so has joined Telegram.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, bro. That's hilarious that you mentioned that.
But it's a good tool because I can send my WAV files to other people easily there. I can send I can record a voice memo to myself like on saved messages,
save it and
right?
Stuff.
And like, so if I have an idea like I'm so sick of myself, I can just fucking do it, leave it there, come back to it later, and it won't be lost forever. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I can send pictures and videos easier on there anyway. But so I have my saved messages with like all the things that I'm working on at that time so that I can listen to them and have ideas while I'm in the car. And that's like the number one thing I listen to.
So you're immersed, bro. You're immersed in this kind of, in the music making process, but not in the process, you know what I mean? Just the music making part of it.
Yeah. I mean, like, it takes time. So I should probably listen more, but oh well.
Nah, I mean, hey, if it works for you, it seems like it's working, you know what I mean? Like that's just definitely good, man. You don't want to like, I won't say influence, but you know what I mean? You want to be too like, you know, stuck on a certain, you know, shit.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time trying to sound a specific way, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, when I was growing up, it was like 311 and
311,
Sublime,
bro. Holy shit. Yeah.
Incubus and Rage Against the Machine and
Rage, bro. Yeah. That's such a bro. They have a special part in my heart, bro. I fucking love their music. He legit sounds like he's like Goku from Dragon Ball Z when he's like yelling on some of that shit, bro.
Dude.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. And then I got into like the Mars Volta. Have you heard of them?
Mm-hmm.
So sick. But they're like really, really, what's the word? Like almost psychedelic, like very strange in some places. But I love that shit.
Like experimental a little bit.
Yeah, like noise rock in places, you know? But to me, it's like those moments where it's not just melodic. It's like all these sounds. Like to me, that is part of the painting and part of the journey, right? So like, just because there's a chaotic moment doesn't mean it doesn't add to the track, right?
Would you say it's kind of like Tool? You know how Tool can kind of be like atmospheric and like very like...
Yeah, they're in the same vague genre. Like, I think they would both be categorized as progressive rock. So weird time signatures, which just means like you can't dance to it. It's not like boom, 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 right? And then like strange sounds sometimes. But yeah, and then Radiohead, which is
bro.
Fucking
you know,
sick.
that's a band that I need to get into, bro. I only know the hits, really. I don't really know their like other stuff. I know like Creep, and I think they had a song on, oh my god, what's it called? It's like a song for a film or something like that. Dude, that song is like incredible. But they're an artist that I need to like, or a band rather, that I need to go back and like, I don't know if it's a guy thing, bro, but when I find a band that I like or a new artist that I like, I go back and I just like
all the way,
yeah. Bro. I have to. I'm talking about like singles, EPs. I just have to I just gotta have it. I don't know what it is.
I like that. That's cool. I wish I was more like that. I think that's a good thing. But
I almost want to because I'm starting to review albums now on my channel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that where I just have here's Radiohead's discography reviewed. And I don't know if people are gonna want a month's worth of Radiohead or and also I wouldn't want to rush me processing those albums, you know what I mean, and taking the time with each one. Yeah. So I kind of mix the artists up, you know what I mean.
Well, think about it. I think that'd be a cool thing to do. I'm sure there's different ways you could approach it that might be interesting to a lot of people. Just keep brainstorming it,
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it, man. Yeah. I've been on the schedule of a music review, movie review, then podcast. That kind of cool. Schedule's helping me out, man.
Good.
Because before I'd just be I have so much shit that I like Goodfellas. I love Goodfellas. You know what I mean? I'd love to do my plan is to do a 20 to 25 minute breakdown of why I really enjoy this movie and why I think it's incredible. You know what I mean? And I want to do that with music as well, because actually one of the probably the next music thing that I'm going to do, other than reviews, is going to be talking about all the great music that came out in 2020. Because I feel man, I don't know, 2020 was such a year of good ass music. And it was such a dichotomy of us not being able to go out and see the shows. Mm-hmm. It was fucking brutal, bro. I was playing on my speaker. I'd play live, a live session or something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Tiny desk sessions and shit like that.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted that live music experience. It's tough, man.
Do you go to shows?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's funny you said that because so this year I've only been to in terms of shows where I buy tickets and there's artists that I really like, only 2. I've only been to 2 this year. Damn. But I've been to my friends' local shows and shit like that. But yeah, it's nice, man. It's nice.
Yeah, I miss that shit. I'll have to figure something out to make that. I haven't played in a long time. Mm-hmm. But I want to. I think I'm holding myself back. I always do that shit. I always find a reason to not do something, release my music, or whatever it is. But I think right now the conflict I'm having is well, I don't want to do the band thing because I've done that before, and I don't want to do that again, but I do want to be a part of a band. I want to be a part of the band. I just don't want some of the things that come with it,
the variables
conflict,
okay,
fighting over, and it's not always fighting, just disagreements over directions of songs and little things like that. I don't want to do that shit. I want to play live with people, but then not have those decisions be a democracy, right? So I think that in order to do that and be fair about it, I would need to pay the musicians that play with me. And there's where it's hard, because it's well, how do I make that happen?
Yeah. And how do you sustain that, if anything,
And so it's well, you either, learn a bunch of covers, which I am not about, and then, or you are popular, or you pay money out of pocket to your guys and hope you recoup the loss at the door. The
lost revenue.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, man. So you would essentially want to be Bradley, and then and a live band?
I guess so. I wouldn't want to put it in those terms, but yeah, I wouldn't want to do a collaborative band. The musicians I'm friends with have good input, so I'd be open to input. Mm-hmm. Or I think I would be. It's hard to say how you would be.
Yeah, in the moment. Yeah,
I hate when people say oh, I would, because you fucking don't know until you.
I feel
that's
you
all I'm
on
saying.
That, bro.
But my idea would be to be open to that shit, but just not have the conflict, because I would be the final say, because it's my music, right? So
for sure.
My songs or whatever. So then you'd have less conflict about bullshit that doesn't matter.
No, for sure. I feel you on that, man. And that's not even, I often I feel for like a lot of because I have like a lot of friends that are like do music, that are in bands, and I've heard some crazy stories, bro. Some crazy shit that hell goes on like behind the scenes, but like not even with the band, like you said, like the venue not wanting to pay or certain shit like that. You know what I mean? It just gets real like tricky, especially like when you think, or they're like, you got to play for another hour.
Yeah.
We pay for this amount of time. Yeah. That shit is so.
I think I'm pretty lucky because I like the two bands I was in, Rogues Among Us and Spruce Miles. Oh no, I'm sorry, Rogues Among Us and Zero Detail. Spruce Miles was a duo. Like we all mostly got along, and the fights we did have were like inconsequential. There was never, there were never conflict. Like serious, and everyone was fully intended to make the track better and just wanted to be heard, and so it was nothing like nasty. And even our time with venues, when we did have conflicts, it was like not a big deal. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, I've heard some stories too. So
yeah, I had a friend, I think earlier this year, who was playing in this band, and they were at this place. I shot photos of it, and I was like, all right, bro, these are like good to go. And he's like, hold off on those. I'm like, why? What's up? He's like, we haven't got paid yet. He's like, I need you to hold off on those photos and don't post anything. He's like, don't tag nobody, don't do any of this shit. He's like, until like I let you know. I'm like, by all means, bro, let me know.
Yeah.
So like the next day, he's like, go ahead, post them, no problem. But I was just kind of like, damn, the fact that you even like had to go back the next day and like talk to this place of like for like being compensated is just like such a
sketchy.
It's so sketchy, and it's also like it's a terrible way to do business. You know what I mean? Like sure. You don't want to like fuck nobody like in like on the night of when like they're still playing music. It's like, come on, bro, what do you like?
Who knows what they were going through?
Yeah, that's often again like the whole perspective. Like, what are they thinking? You know what I mean? Or whoever was running the thing, what were they thinking?
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
What are your favorite spots to go see live music in Houston?
There's so I like White Oak Music Hall.
Fuck yeah.
That's nice, bro. I saw King Cruel there. I don't know if you listen to King Cruel. That's just like.
Have you been to the upstairs room or just downstairs?
Yes. I saw this band. There's this like Spanish artist named Helado Negro, which is Black Ice. And he has these real chill music, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna send you some of his stuff. It's really like nice.
Just do, yeah.
And I saw him, and bro, he was like literally right in front of me. I was
is he a local guy?
No, he's actually from North Carolina, bro.
Oh shit, that's
weird. Hilarious. That's hilarious. He's from North Carolina.
We got a thing today.
I forgot what fucking part of it is, bro. But he's Fayetteville. Is Fayetteville a North Carolina thing?
There might be a Fayetteville. There's a lot of Fayettevilles.
I don't even know. I know he's like from there though, because he's always like representing. But yeah, man. He's from like North Carolina, but seeing him in person, I was just like, what a trip. Because again, during COVID, I was like jamming his stuff a lot, and then like I'd watch his music videos, and I'm like, dude, this guy's like. He does this like little dance when he's like singing and shit, and I was like totally doing the dance like right in front of me, man. And I was like, it's incredible. It's way more intimate than I did, bro. I didn't even know they had an upstairs for like the longest time.
Yeah, we did some cool shows in that upstairs room. I remember Rogues. We like packed that bitch. I think it was maybe our last show. That was fun. It was really.
When it gets packed, bro, it's a real like solid like room to like play. Dude. I feel
it's very fun, and you get to like. That window behind the stage with the skyline, man. There's some really cool photos that we had of us.
Oh man, that's just nice. Yeah, that and Raven Tower. My friends play at Raven Tower a lot. Yeah.
I haven't seen a show there. They always have like a sign, but I never see actually live music. I've heard they have an open mic on Tuesdays, but I haven't been out. But that's my favorite bar.
Yeah, it's dope, man. They my friend Nicky and his band Dip Terror, they play over there a lot. Yeah. And he's always like, go over there, and bro, it was so fucking hot. It gets so hot there. I was like, holy shit. But again, like the little tower you climb up, take photos. I took some nice ass photos there. I was like, this is like really, really cool. And I like the fact that like it's not really costly, you know what I mean? Like you kind of like there's it's no pretty, like you don't really pay for parking really, you know, you just kind of park.
It's a sick place. I love the porch. You know, you can just look into the polluted ass bayou and see the skyline. And no, I actually do like looking down over into the polluted bayou, but it is very polluted.
It is, yeah.
But no, it's a really nice spot. I love it.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I know they opened up 713, which is like I don't know if you've been there. That shit is huge. I didn't know it was that big.
I haven't been there. My ex roommate, he was a singer for Rogues. His name's Mark. So Mark. He used to talk about 713 because he works for GAV that runs. It's a production company that runs White Oak, and they do 713 stuff too.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, there. I like Revention Center.
Yeah.
Which is like, I guess now it's like Bayou or Bayou Music Center.
Right?
Yeah. That's just dope. I saw Turnstile there, which is like this kind of like hardcore band that's like really, really dope. There's tons of moshing. I only hated it because like they didn't allow people to like, if you like even got close to the stage, they weren't about that shit. They were like, you gotta like not do that. Which if you watch any Turnstile show on like online, everyone's just like going on stage, jumping off, going on stage, jumping off. It's like it's madness, but like they totally were like putting a kibosh to that. Like no fucking way, like you guys cannot do that.
That fucking liability insurance.
Yeah, no, I feel, honestly, bro, I feel it because like I've seen shows where I'm like, how the fuck are they like not, especially like because they're from Baltimore. So like if you look up like Turnstile Baltimore shows, they're just like insane. Like especially they're like early on shows where they're just like not even on the stage, they're just like playing like on a fucking like a hall or something. Yeah. I was like, man,
those are fun shows to do. There's a place called The Clinic that was open a while back. I'm sure it's condemned or shut down by now, but it was basically like this old women's clinic, and I'm talking about like holes in the fucking floor and ceiling and like just a piece of shit place to be, you know, like.
And people would play music.
Oh yeah, they had shows, and there was no stage, so you were basically in the waiting room of this old women's clinic, and it felt like there was like fucking ghosts in there and shit. You know?
Jesus Christ, that sounds horrible.
It was a creepy ass place, dude, but. It was a very fun place to do.
I was gonna say, yeah, it sounds like
on the same level as people like watching you, you know. And then it's a small room, so that shit gets packed.
Yeah, no,
very
for
fun.
sure, bro.
Very fun.
Did you ever go to Walters?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Walters was like.
We played a couple shows there back in the day.
That shit was nice. That shit was nice. I don't know what happened to there. Apparently they're still doing like underground shows or some shit, or like every once in a while they do like shows there. And my friend was telling me, I was like, man, Walters. I had someone out like a post. I was like, R.I.P. And he's like, bro, we just played there.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's like an underground show, but like we played there the other day. I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
That's too bad. And Fitzgerald's too. Too bad.
Yeah,
for that.
man. Fitzgerald's.
But you know, like, what do you think did that? Do you think we just don't have the support in the music scene, or do you think White Oak had something to do with it because it's really new and nice, or do you think
so like Fitzgerald's,
they just didn't run the business as well or something?
I think it was something like that. The venue's relationship with the artists, because I've had people that played there.
Yep, I've heard
and
stories.
It was also like, I think there was some like racy shit going on too. I'm not sure if that's like legit or not. I don't know what the fuck like that is, but I've had like multiple people say like they're pretty like not, you know.
Yeah.
Which is like a bummer, because I liked Fitzgerald's, you know what I'm saying?
They liked us because we packed that bitch.
Yeah, it seemed cool, man.
They were like, it was hard to communicate on the front end, but on the back end they were real nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not even sure what they evolved into, or if they even like opened a new place.
I think it's
not.
like a fucking parking lot now.
Yeah,
I don't know what they did,
dude. I'm trying to because like. I was there in like in high school, bro. I saw a band there in high school, so I'm not even sure like when the fuck they closed down.
Yeah,
that's wild, man. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
We're back to the old man.
Yeah,
like,
that
used to be Fitzgerald's.
Back in my day, we used to play the show.
Because like I'm 26 and you're 33, so like, or you're gonna be 33. I don't want to fucking.
I'm 21.
We're no, 21.
I'm 33. You're right.
We have like I think our generations isn't too far apart. I think we kind of like you know what I mean.
Say it more.
Because like there's certain shit that I see like or saw as a kid growing up that's like totally gone now. Blockbuster is gone. You know what I mean. All that kind of shit is gone. Even the mall like around here is like gone. It's like such a weird thing.
Ooh, I just went to Northwest Mall today.
Damn.
Shit's just like a fucking nothing.
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
Jurassic Park, you know. It's like fucking trees growing through the building and shit, you know.
I work close to this is a terrible area, but in Greenspoint. Yeah. So like the Greenspoint Mall.
Yeah.
Which as a kid wasn't too bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I had to get a gift. It was my friend's daughter's party, and I was like, "Shit, what should I get her?" And she's like, "Just get her like something to wear." I'm like, "All right, cool." And I like let me stop at Foot Locker one time, dude. Going to that fucking mall was like literally a ghost town.
Yep.
No one was there except for the workers.
Yep.
And like maybe like a lady with a kid, you know what I mean? Like at like the food court. And I was just walking around and I was like, how do y'all stay in business? I don't understand.
The carnival.
Like, oh shit. Dude, I had a friend almost die there, bro.
Oh shit.
I thought my friend was gonna have a fucking panic attack because like we went on the I think it's called like Ring of Fire. It goes in a circle. And we're going, and like already I'm kind of like, dude, I'm not even like a big roller coaster guy.
Yeah.
And me and my friend Josh, who's like a big dude, we're both pretty big. He's bigger than me. And we're going and we're fucking, and I'm just like, damn. And then there's that part where like you're kind of upside down. And Josh is like breathing hard as fuck. I'm like, you good, bro? He's like, what happened? And then homeboy looks, fucking cranks it again, and we're just zoom, zoom, zoom. It's like, dude, we're about to fucking die. I was like, I'm totally gonna die or fly off on like 45 or some shit.
Yeah, I like roller coasters, but if you can fold it up and truck it away, I don't trust it. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, yeah, no, for
that.
sure. If it's like a traveling carnival,
nope, no.
It has to be. You're more into like a Six Flags or something that's like nailed down to the fucking ground.
Yeah,
like.
for sure.
I haven't been to a Six Flag or a like Splash Town in a minute. Now that I think about it.
You want to know how old I am?
How old are you?
In high school, I had a season pass to Astroworld.
Ah, dude. When did they close that down?
I don't know, but it makes me old. That's all I know.
I remember Astroworld, and then I remember people being like, you have to go to San Antonio now or some shit. Now it's like Fiesta, Texas or some other shit. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, it's totally closed down. That was a bummer as a kid for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Terrible, man. Terrible. Well, shit, bro, we've been gone for a minute. I don't know if what you want to give out to where people could reach you at, or any upcoming music at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna be releasing one a month for the rest of the year. You can find me on Spotify or basically wherever you listen to music. If you stream music online, I'll be out there. My name is Bradley. My last name's spelled Fryou. It's pronounced Fryou.
Okay. I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, and so that's just what I put as my artist name, is my real name. So hopefully that doesn't cause problems. But I'll have a bunch of music out there. If you want to listen to my old shit, you can listen to Zero Detail or Rogues Among Us or Spruce Miles. So I got a lot of music out there.
Oh yeah.
And my Instagram handle is Bradley Fryou.
Got you. I will link all that in the bio. And I appreciate you coming by, man.
Thanks
I really
a lot. Had a great
enjoyed
time.
my conversation.
Nice getting to know you.
Hell yeah, dude. Definitely got to do one again, or whenever if you end up doing like a live show, I'll more than happily be there to take some flicks of you and stuff.
That'd be sick.
For sure. Well, guys, that's gonna do it for this week's episode. I've been your host, Cesar Perez, with
Bradley.
So next time, peace.
Peace.
Hell yeah, bro.
Thanks, man.